great. How are you?
Good. All right. 10 seconds, 20 seconds. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Welcome to 22 Questions with Queen's Alchemy. And today I have Kiss from Jay. I'm going to be asking her some questions today. So we're not going to hesitate to get into it. However, I want to start out, don't want to be rude. How you been doing?
I've been amazing, love. How are you? How's everything going?
Beautiful, beautiful. Can't complain. Can't complain. I
Yes.
hope that I made this live. I mean, public.
Yes, you did.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, let's roll then. All right. So first question. So in um in reference to, I'm going to start out asking you some questions about your journey here on YouTube. And then we go
Okay.
into some other questions. So I
Sure.
know that you have reached 1,000 subscribers in like 2.5 months.
Yes.
What is it that you would say you did different than most people who are not achieving the same goals?
Okay. Well, I would say for me, what I did was I knew that I wanted to be consistent. I honestly did not think that I was going to be able to achieve 1,000 subscribers like at the rate that I did. I just knew that I felt like if I continued to put out my videos, I knew for sure that in the beginning when I first started that I wanted to be able to continue. The very first day, I was a little nervous to even post my second video, but I knew for sure if I didn't post my second video, I probably wasn't going to post again. And I didn't want to have that feeling over me. So I decided to just keep going and I just kept at it. You know what I'm saying? And in the midst of it, in the very beginning, probably like within the first 4 to 5 days, not even 4 to 5 days from the very start, when I first posted my first video, I automatically started getting subscribers, whether it was like 3 subscribers or 4 subscribers here, 5 subscribers here. I was getting subscribers every single day. You know what I'm saying? And that was because I was being consistent. You know, me being consistent and putting my face in the viewer will allow them to be like, I see this girl all the time. Let me click on her video. I just keep seeing her and keep seeing her. You know what I'm saying? And that makes it really easy for someone to want to be able to click onto your video once they see a familiar face. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
People kind of get like stuck into the familiar way. So when you keep putting out content, you're gonna be able to gain people that don't really like change. You know what I'm saying? So I was really excited to see that as I continued to post, I was able to just grow more and more subscribers. Also, I gained to realize probably like a week in that by me fully expressing myself and seeing what's been going on YouTube and actually speaking on it when it happens, that also helps to be able to get people to relate to me more because we're all kind of going through the same thing on this journey here on YouTube. So anything that kind of happens in the YouTube street, I actually spoke on this in a video before. Anything that we're all like literally walking hand in hand. So if we're all walking and we're facing the same direction because we see an end goal that we all want, and I look over and I see a big red bird, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what's that red bird?" And everybody will shift and turn like, "Oh my God, what's that red bird?" So if you see that red bird first, you should speak on it because chances are a lot of people that's standing right there with you are gonna see that and they're going to want to click onto a video talking about something that they, witness or experience,
Mhm.
or can relate to. You know what I'm saying? So being able to speak on something in the instant that it comes to you, like we spoke on this yesterday, is definitely a great way to get people to want to be able to like that's a great way to have people resonate with you. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like me just having familiar things in my videos. Not all of my videos are the same, but the things that I do transfer over to each video would be the way that I do my introduction with my street count, today is day whatever, that always carries on to my next video. And also what carries on to my next video is at the end of my video when I do my subscriber count. That's just something that I've been doing since I started on day one. You know what I'm saying? And some people, they want to be able to sometimes watch it just to see how far like I got. You know what I'm saying? Like see where it's at with it. And they're kind of excited to kind of keep up with what I got going on, knowing what I'm trying to accomplish. So I
Absolutely.
honestly do believe that that really helped me. And on top of it all, engaging, that's one of the biggest things. Being able to engage with your community here allows people to want to be able to support you just as much as you're supporting them. You know, so it's a lot. Being able to put out quality content, try your best to learn every day and add new things into the mix. You know, that also shows your growth on YouTube and allows people to want to be able to like just see you kind of elevate is exciting to see. So yeah, all of that plays a factor in me able to reaching that 1,000 subscribers as fast as I did. Yeah.
Well, I love it. So you're saying
Hmm.
consistency, um, seeing that red bird, and then in turn, kind of, rubbing shoulders with and being in the community with everyone else. Okay, well, definitely,
Most
that's a great answer,
definitely.
and it was a great answer. It really was.
Hmm.
Thank you for sharing that. All right, so
Of
now,
course.
um, all right, so hold on, because you kind of answered these questions in the last question. So hold on a second. Okay, so you posted every day for 100 days. Was there ever a moment when you wanted to quit?
I wouldn't say there was ever a moment that I wanted to quit because there definitely was not. But there was for sure moments where I felt like I don't really want to make a video today. You know, I feel like we all have those days where we just feel like, especially when you're posting consistently, it does get to a point where you kind of just feel like, because it's not just recording the video. Recording the video to me is probably the easiest part. For me, is the editing because that kind of takes longer for me. It's much easier for people that probably record their video and then put it out just like that. But I don't really do that because the editing part is what I really love. I'm really into art and it really is like art to me, you know? So I like being able to chop it up, add things to it, show you exactly, especially with what I'm doing, like showing you exactly what I'm talking about. So you'll be able to see the breakdown and get the hang of what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So the editing part kind of takes long. And sometimes it just ends up being like, oh my God, y'all. But when I think on it, and I'm like, nah, man, because I know when I'm doing like, for example, my 100th day, I'm trying to show y'all all of this that we've been through, all of this. And it's so emotional. And it's just like such a beautiful thing to actually see
That was a great
how far
video.
I have came. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's all worth it. So yeah, there's definitely been days where I didn't want to do it, but there's never been a day that I wanted to quit.
Oh, yeah. Peace and love to the chat here. I see everybody here on the live. Danielle says, oh no, don't throw the count off. Jay answering questions in advance. Well, she not gonna
I
throw it off.
know.
Trust me, I got 22 questions, but I have way more questions than that. So we good to go. Even
Mhm.
though she kind of skipped along, but this is what we know. This is what our sister do. We already know
Mhm.
that, and we halfway think the same, so it's okay. All right. So
Right.
now, I'm gonna go and switch this up. I'm gonna be in and out of things just to kind of keep it fresh, right? So, if your personality was a dish, what would the ingredients be,
If my personality was a dish, what would the ingredients be? Hmm.
and why?
My in Okay. My ingredients would be love. It will be kindness. It will be motivation. It will be sacrifice in some ways. Probably just like some sprinkles of that. And it will be competitive. I'll put that there. Love will be splashed all over. Love will be like my base. Okay. Yeah. It will be a cheerful giver. That will definitely be there. It will be intelligent, like my personality though. Um, it will be kind of all of that in the mix, yeah. And to like top it off with like the breadcrumbs, I guess you can say. I would say probably mm, like integrity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Stir
Awesome.
it all up and make sure you bake it at 360 degrees. Okay. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
That's why I hear you. I hear you. Double tap that screen, everybody. Welcome to the live. We're here with Kiss from Jay. We're doing 22 questions. Anyone, most of us are connected here, but anyone listening to the live today, go over and check out her page, her channel, I should say. And we're going to go ahead and keep the questions coming. If you could borrow a talent from someone for 24 hours, whose would it be and what would you do with it?
If I can borrow a talent for 24 hours, ooh, I think I would borrow. Hold on, wait, let me think on that. Mm, if I can borrow a talent for 24 hours, I think that what I would do is I would borrow Elon Musk's talent, and it would more so be like his intelligence, because I guess you can say that's his talent. And I would probably create something or write down something or something of that nature because I can't borrow his money. I wish I probably could, but I can only borrow his talents.
Well, we
So
talked about
I
time
would,
and money yesterday, didn't we?
hmm yeah, I would borrow his talents and I would come up with a master plan. I think if anything, I would come up with mm, maybe I would make my own like really dope. What would I do with it? I would probably, I don't know, I'll come up with some type of company, like a huge company that can last and go like something that can reach all over the world. So probably like something like an app or something. I'll probably create an app, something that people would really enjoy that would last for like centuries and centuries to come. So yeah, it'll be something of that nature. I don't know what it would be exactly, but that's definitely what I would do with it if I can only borrow a talent. Yeah.
For
It'll be
24 hours.
something, yeah. So when I give you back your talent after 24 hours, I can still continue to do what I'm doing, child. I'll make sure that I write down everything that I need to know with your mind, and I'll continue on with my process.
Hey, now that's
Yeah.
now that's actually intelligent.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So, if YouTube suddenly disappeared tomorrow, what's your next move?
I would most likely just continue on with my nail business and I would go on to TikTok and do my thing over there, continue on with Instagram and do my thing over there. But definitely I would still create content. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many different like ways to be able to reach people from all around the world, regardless of YouTube. So there's so many ways. There's like so many different things that you can do. You just have to be creative. And literally, you can use kind of the same thing and just break them up and put them out there. So, yeah, I will get up on TikTok. All my little contents that I have, thank goodness, is in my phone. I'll be able to just put it on to where I need to put it on. And I think it'll be more so just focusing. I'll make two different things. I'll do one for Nella May and I'll do one for me. And I'll continue on with my content. And the thing that I really like about YouTube though is I like how you're able to look through everything, unlike TikTok where you're just like strolling on what's on the actual feed. That's what I do like about YouTube a whole lot. So I would probably surf around and try to see if YouTube was to disappear tomorrow, child. The way that we live in a world like this, they'll probably somebody quick will make another YouTube something similar. So sure, I'll be quick to find out where that is so I can get up in there before it ends up getting difficult. But I would definitely, yeah, I'll definitely probably push harder on my nail business and push that out more. And yeah, I'll definitely get up on TikTok and I'll probably like do my painting, do my like nail things on live and pop it off that way. But either way, child, I'm gonna pop off. So it's gonna have to happen. I'm determined and I'm with it.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
All right. So I'm just gonna let you know you popped in a couple other questions, answers in that in my for the questions. So give me a second. uh, all right. So you because I was gonna ask you, what is it that you do other than YouTube? Like what is it that you do? And you mentioned your nail business. So I've heard you talk about it, but I didn't know if everyone else knew about your
Hmm.
nail business. So you did touch on that.
Yes.
All right. So all right, so you on YouTube, when you first came onto YouTube, there was a lot of content that you recorded in your car. I remember an episode where or a video, I call them episodes, so streak.
Right.
So that you mentioned, I'm always in my car, but I feel the most comfortable there. Does that still remain the same?
It does, yeah. Especially when I'm like in my little studio consistently. When I go into the car and I start recording, it kind of just, I don't know, this like homesome feeling, kind of like back to where it began kind of comes up,
Mm.
that kind of feeling, which makes it feel really good. Like I remember when I was recording consistently in my studio when I had first like made my first video and was posting for a few days, and I went over to my auntie house and I recorded the video where I spoke on um commenting is leaving your stamp behind. That was the first video I did outside of my studio. After I was recording in my studio, that's the first one I did outside of the studio. And when I looked back on that video, like I was like, something about this video, just watching it just feels more relatable. And I don't know if it's just because I was just outside of the studio, because most people on YouTube, they're just posting wherever they're at. You know what I'm saying? And doing whatever they're doing on the go. So I feel like when I had rewatched that video, I was like, something about this video feels more relatable. And I think it's just because it just seems like I'm at home and it's just like anybody can be right here where I am. You know what I'm saying? Even though anybody literally can make what I made, because I literally did a whole breakdown on it, but something about it just gave more of a wholesome feeling. So when I am recording in the car, it does, like, I feel like I come up with more ideas. I don't know if it's because like there's so much more to see outside in the world where you're just like where everything is just kind of out in the open, but something about it just makes it feel good, you know? Yeah, I feel like it's a place, it's almost like being in the shower where you feel like you can brainstorm, where you're just thinking a lot. You know what I'm saying? Everything kind of comes to you out of nowhere, like in that moment. And that's kind of how it felt to me, yeah, when I'm in the car sometimes. Hmm.
Yeah, the car actually does have some type of feel to it. Because when I used to do the
Yeah.
Facebook, I used to be in that car consistently. Like probably most of my content was in the car or in the bedroom.
Hmm.
But so now you spoke on, doing content with your family. Being, when I was on my way to my aunt house, you did a lot of content with your family, your cousins, your mom. Um, I recall uh, there being, um, let me see how to put this. So with that content that you do with your family, you do a lot of happy content with your family. So you show us almost like everything happy. Is there anything behind the scenes that you have either recorded or wanted to put out there and decided not to do so? whether it be about your family, with your family, in that regards. Because I do recall also there was a episode, I keep calling them episodes, where you talked about um, you had a death in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that, aside from that, is there anything that, because we're seeing happy Jay, right? Is there
Mm-hmm.
anything that would let you be a little more deep? Is there any deeper that you would go with us here as your um, tribe or your subscribers that you would reveal, or is it something that you keep separate?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say that I keep separate. I would just say more so I feel like I need to just be a bit more ready because I feel like once I kind of go that way, there's no turning back, you know? So I just want to make sure that I'm fully ready for that. But honestly, there's
Mm.
not too much when it comes to like my family. If anything, is more so like with me and my husband. So because everything is great, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot that we talk about, me and my husband, that's like behind the scenes. But yeah, I do want to be able to go deeper with that eventually. And yeah, I feel like, yeah, it definitely is something that is like once that door is open, there's no like locking it anymore. It's open and we moving forward from there, you know? So yeah, but there definitely is a whole lot because on my page I literally just kind of, yeah, it is more so like you said, like just like happy and all of that, because to be honest that's kind of like the energy that I want to put out, but I also do want to be able to be relatable, and that's why I put a lot of my personality out as well, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like content where it gets like that, I feel like when it gets into when I start really doing more like more vlogs and stuff like that, more things would be able to be revealed in that light.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
I'm not saying we want to be nosy and know all of your ins and outs, but I mean, you did have me on here telling why I'm crying, so we're gonna go a little deep too.
Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny.
Like, when the last time you really, really cried? I'm like, really? You gonna do that to me? Okay. So,
Yeah.
all right. So now you had a time where you had a surprise for us. You talked about this surprise. You built it up in content as you went along. You was like, y'all not going to get, and people start saying, well, you're having a baby and all kinds of stuff, right? And you were like, I'm just gonna stop talking about it because somebody gonna say it and then whatever. And I remember it was you and
Right.
Leah. You
Yeah.
and Leah were on the platform talking about it, and she was trying to guess. And you're like, no,
Mhm.
we just gonna stop talking about it. Now, I'm gonna let you know I didn't even know there was a mister to even consider a wedding, right? So let me ask
Mhm.
you this. How did you keep him separate from this? Not mentioning, not talking about, because I don't think anyone knew that there was a significant part of you, another significant part of you. At least I didn't. I don't know if anybody else did. You can put it in the comments. But how did you keep that? I mean, because it was a good little journey that you were on before you did that. So how did you keep that a secret?
I wouldn't really say that I kept it a secret. It's more so that I kept a focus. And because this was the focus and I was very like detailed with everything that I had going on, nothing outside of that seemed to really exist in the way, you know? So I feel like that's kind of what it was. And it was more so of people just kind of getting to know me. And just because I kind of just like made everything about what I was talking about, and I was able to, just pinpoint everything that was going on right there. Nothing outside of that. Like maybe that's why I said maybe if I was doing more vlogs, it will become more of like a question as far as, things like that. But because of like what I was speaking on and how I was going about things, it wasn't really ever, nobody ever really came to say, oh, but what about this and what about that? Because none of my videos was about this or that. You know what I'm saying? It was more so everyone's eyes is here because that's kind of where I kept it on.
Right.
It was more so of a spotlight here, even though there's a big stage, you're only seeing what's in the light.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to be able to speak on something that you can't see.
That's true. That's true. So I guess maybe to reword that, like, why wasn't that brought into focus? Was it all along a plan to do what you did as far as the surprise for everyone, or?
No, it definitely wasn't a plan. It more so because that was already in the works before I even thought I was going to start YouTube on the day that I was going to start YouTube. It could have
Hmm.
easily been like I probably wasn't even going to start YouTube until this year. You know what I'm saying? So that was already like in the works or whatnot. I'm just like I'm so much like my mom when it comes to it. I'm very like closed. You know what I'm saying? I'm very closed up. But in the same way, like when you talk to me, you know what I'm saying? I can seem very open, but that's more so because I keep my focus in a certain way. Even though I'm very open with me, I'm not really open with a lot of things that's around me. And it's not like to say I'm hiding it because I'm not. I just don't bring it to light. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't see nothing, it's like what's that one saying? What's that one saying? It's like can see it or out of thought, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
if you can't see it, you're not gonna think about it. And it's
Okay.
like what I'm saying. If I'm not like the only thing that I would say, which is so funny because my husband has spoke to me about that because I actually wanted to do something with him, but I have to really be more so comfortable because I know that once we move in that direction, it's no turning back, which is going to be really, really weird for me. And I know it just seems like I'm really like holding so much in while I'm talking, but I don't know. Child.
Oh, I think
Mm-mm.
I think I get it because I typically do the same thing. And Danielle said, compartmentalization you show people what you're willing to share. So if they don't even know that something exists, that makes sense, right? They don't know it
Mhm.
exists, then it doesn't even have to be a subject. Unless somebody says, "Hey, are you married?" or "Hey, are you in a
Yeah,
relationship?" But no,
yeah.
but no one's
I'm
asking that,
definitely open.
right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely open to like answer questions when it's pinpointed. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
you would never know of something if it's never like seen. But
That's
I'm always like willing to like answer questions when it's pinpointed. Like if you ask me directly, like, do you eat apples? Yeah. Yeah, I eat apples, but I probably don't eat a banana. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to say that. I'll say,
right.
yeah, I'll answer
Oh,
your question. I
right.
don't, yeah, I eat
Yeah.
apples. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Very good, very good, very good. So now
Yeah.
we're gonna still stay on this topic because I recall in um, the Liberia series,
Danielle,
um,
so funny.
it said uh, you said, if I'm not mistaken, and you could correct me, that we are already married. We just came here for a ceremony, and we're going to have a second ceremony back in the States.
Yes.
So you were already married prior to going to Liberia.
Yes.
Girl,
Yeah.
child!
Mhm. Yeah, child. Yeah. Me and my husband, this year, March 30th, we will actually be 2 years married. We
Wow.
Yeah, so when we went to Liberia, that's when we actually had our ceremony. You know what I'm saying? And when we went to Liberia, the reason why we're having a second wedding here in the States is because when we went to Liberia, it was only my dad and my siblings on my dad's side, and then my mom's like siblings and cousins and stuff like that that's in Liberia that I've never met. Everyone that I've met there, other like apart from my dad, I have never seen before, like all of my family that was out there in Liberia, because I've never been to Africa. It was my first time going. You know what I'm saying? And me and my husband was going because my dad was having his 70th birthday. So my husband was like, he thought it would be a really great idea if we just, do our wedding out there, while we're already there. So yeah, that's how we decided to do it. And since,
Aw.
my mom and stuff wasn't able to come. Everybody on this side, we're like, we're gonna have a wedding over here this year as well, so that they'll be able to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how everything went down. And yeah, that's what it is.
That is so awesome. Thank you, everybody,
Mm-hmm.
for tuning in. And we have Kiss from Jay as our guest today. She is answering questions. I have 22 questions I'm going to be asking. I've asked quite a few. If you haven't heard any, stay tuned because we have some more questions for her. And also, make sure you check out her channel and show her some love. And if you haven't, double tap that screen. All right, so um,
Crystal and Danielle are so dope. Yes.
yes, he was. I said the same thing
Yeah,
a couple
my
times.
dad is actually a pastor, and he's been a pastor for many,
Oh
many
wow.
years. Yeah, he
Okay.
had a church out in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he has a church out in Minnesota where he stayed. And he also was a pastor at the church that I went to for my wedding for 10 years. He became a pastor, I believe, when he was 16 years old, and he was
Oh
preaching
wow.
for the 10 years back in Liberia, and then he came here and was preaching here and whatnot. So yeah, he actually had an anniversary at the church. Um, it was a chairs anniversary. So he had purchased like the newest, most updated chairs as far as like in church. You know, the chairs that like fold down when you get up or they fold back up when you get up or whatever, like the brand new ones for the
Mhm.
church in Liberia, because the church in Liberia had like long seats that everybody would just sit on, and you know they were just old and they had been there for years. So he purchased it and he put it into the church. It's called the Ebenezer Baptist Church,
Okay.
and it was really exciting. He's really like dedicated, you know, to the Lord and stuff like that. So I was really excited for him to be able to do that because he had been planning it for years. So to be able to see that all his hard work finally paid off is motivating. And I think that's something that I definitely get from him as well, to continue on to your goal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Hmm. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to shift gears just a little bit here. Um, if you could only ask one question to determine if you truly vibe with someone, what would be the question?
If I was to ask a question to truly vibe with someone, oh man, I think it would really depend on like what stage in my life I was. Because if I was like, if this was probably like 5 years ago, my question would be like, do you drink or do you smoke? You know? Yeah, because we can really vibe that way. But now, the way I am now, because I don't drink no more and I don't smoke no more. So now, I think I would probably ask a question that would be, I would probably ask, um, let me see. I'll probably say, oh, I gotta really think. Mm, I'll probably say, I'll probably like ask them, how do you think your life is going compared to what you wished it would have been if it didn't ended up in the way that you wanted it to be? To see what they would say, just to bring up conversation, because that definitely is a vibe to me, and it allows the person to open up and really kind of express a lot of what they want and have to say about their life. And that can turn into a very lengthy conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay, that's a great answer. Now, to kind of piggyback off of that, we do a lot of vibing here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so, since you typically can't really ask questions, so that would be like your question that you ask. Typically, we can't really ask questions unless we're kind of in the video or
Mm-hmm.
on a platform like this. How do you decide who you vibe with through YouTube?
Honestly, it's really more of an energy. Like, even though we're on this platform, we can be in the comments and I can like feel your energy from how you're like wording what you're wording, regardless if it's in exclamation, hello, exclamation points or in capital letters, or just the way that you respond to my video and certain things that you actually say from my video that was probably like sentimental or anything like that, like you just cheer me on, you know what I'm saying, like little things like that. I pick up on energy really fast, like I always tell my husband, like, I'm an energy reader. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm a heavy
I love
energy reader. You
it.
know what
I'm
I'm
for
saying?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's why when I'm having like serious conversations with someone, I would prefer to do it in person versus over the phone because I can't do that. It doesn't even make sense to me to speak to you about something serious over the phone because for me, I'm reading and listening to multiple things. Listening to your voice, but I'm also reading your energy. Like I'm looking at your body movement. I'm looking at how
Mhm.
you're standing. I'm looking at like how you probably turn your head or how you move when you say certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like all of
Mhm.
that kind of speaks to me. Like you can't just your mouth isn't the only thing that speaks to me. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
yeah. But when we're having a conversation like through comments, it's really easy for me to pick out who I'm really messing with just because of how everything is going, like what you peep about me. Like people can literally watch one 10-minute video and there'll be some people that clap for one thing and there'll be some people that clap for another. you know some of the people may clap off the fact that, oh my god, you made it to day 100, and some people will clap off the fact and be like, oh my god, this was so emotional for me because they're more attached to me, like, oh my god, like saying all the like the little details. People that pay attention to the little details are the ones that mean like that much more to me because that means a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? The little details are the ones that's like very like quickly overlooked for someone that's not really paying that much attention, for someone that's just like just glaring versus like focusing on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I peep stuff like that and I wouldn't say attach myself, just easily relate and easily like feel more too, or vibe more with people that are like that because that's how I am.
Okay. Definitely. I'm definitely with the energy. Being an energy reader for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
I can tell who I'm talking to. I can feel it through. I talk on the phones at work. I'm the same way. Like I can feel
Mhm.
I shift energy. I call myself an energy shifter because I'm gonna change the atmosphere where I'm at. Right. So whatever's coming
Yeah.
my way, I'm gonna shift that atmosphere because I don't like a certain type of energy around me. So I try to
Mhm.
push that away. So I'm with that. I am with that. That was awesome. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So if your future self could send you one message from 10 years ahead, what do you hope it would say?
What do I hope it will say? If they can send me a message, what would I hope it would say? Sure. I would hope that they would say, Jay, guess what? You have 4 kids and they're all sitting over at your mom's house right now and they're all chilling with her and the family and your dad is there and you know, just vibing because honestly, that's something that's really, really big and really means a lot to me because I don't have any kids right now, and I'm 32. Well, about to be 32. My birthday is on the 10th of February, so I'm about to be 32. So I want to be able, one thing that really means a lot to me is that I really want to be able to, I don't want to get emotional. I feel like I'm going to cry. I don't know why,
You're
but
gonna have me crying. You
I
have my kids.
really,
Go ahead.
I really want to be able to have kids, and I want to have kids before my mom or dad pass away because I want them to be able to meet my children. And I feel like as people get older, you just don't know when their time may go. You know what I'm saying? And I want them to be able to meet my kids. And I want them to be able to hold my kids and pass down morals and things like that. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm just feeling so emotional, but that really means so much to me. Like, so, so much to me, you know? So I don't ever want it to be a situation where something, God forbid, will happen and my kids aren't here yet, you know? So that's the most important message that I want to hear. Yeah.
That's a great
Hmm.
message to hear.
Yeah.
Sis, I'm feeling you
I'm
100%.
sorry.
I'm telling you. I don't know, like you said, you don't have kids, and children are amazing. And to build your family and have your family around to enjoy your family, that's major. That's major. So I'm sending you positive vibes on that for sure. That is
Hmm.
definitely. I hope you get that message. And
Oh yeah.
in 10 years, hopefully the kids are 10.
You're so funny.
How about this? How about we'll say 8, 9, and it's four of them. So we'll say 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay.
That is hilarious. But I would love
Absolutely.
that. I would love
Absolutely. Let's roll with that.
that. Hmm.
Cause Auntie Queen will want to see the babies. Okay.
Right.
Want to see the babies. I love the babies. um, let's see here. How do you handle personal struggles while maintaining a public presence on YouTube? I know you talked about compartmentalizing. I know you talked about focus, but we all deal with something at some time, but we still got to show up. So how do
Yeah.
you do that?
Hmm.
Especially now that you're doing interviews, that's not something that you can redo, right? So that's something in that.
Right.
Think about that aspect too, because I know you can record whenever you want to record, but what about the fact when you're doing something like this? How do you show up?
Honestly, I don't know. I just always been good at just like throwing everything to the back and just standing firm in what I'm trying to do. And it's so crazy. Like, I get to a point where I don't let things bother me in a way, to the point that sometimes I have to like sit down and allow myself to just feel it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm ready to just really get into that, but I'm so good at just like pushing it back and not letting it be the reason why I'm not moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And something that I really am trying to do, regardless if it's a moment or for a while, and like it's kind of like once I get to a point where I feel like I don't really know which direction is straight or anything. And I feel like in this moment, I can just kind of let go, or if something has been resolved and I'm able to just kind of let go, I allow all those feelings to just roll over me. You know what I'm saying? In that moment. And I just, at least then I let it go. But I don't do it before I see what I'm trying to do. Like what I'm trying to do will be done first. And then I will allow those feelings to come up. So, yeah. When I'm doing something like this, especially on YouTube, I don't know. I just like tuck it away. Yeah.
Okay.
I tuck it away.
Okay. I definitely know it's a challenge to do sometimes, because it can still
Mm-hmm.
show all over your face, right? So,
Yeah.
we don't. We're not capable most times to have that poker face, and so it still can come across
But
as
honestly, I kind of am good at doing it like that too. I'm good at like you won't see it on my face because I would literally be like, "All right, come on, girl, let's do this,"
yeah,
and I'd
shake
be
it
like, "All
off for
right."
sure.
Yeah.
That pep talk.
Mhm.
No spirit guys be talking to you.
Mhm.
Your spiritual team. All right. Um, let's see here. We go back up. What is a personal failure that ended up being the best lesson?
Oh, a personal failure that ended up being the best lesson. Child, I would probably have to say, oh goodness, this is something that I kind of didn't want to ever speak on, but I kind of speak on it because that's literally what I'm thinking about right now. So there was a situation that I had with a female that I knew that I was really, really close to, like literally called family. You know what I'm saying? And we were supposed to be moving together in Atlanta because we was more so living in Gwinnett County. And it ended up turning into a situation where it just kind of was overwhelming and at the same time kind of annoying. And the person kind of came off as just like I just wasn't really vibing with it anymore, you know? It just came off as a lot of different ways. And in some ways, it kind of seemed a little excessive. And I just like my spirit just wasn't there anymore. So I decided like that I didn't want to do that. And I kind of just wanted to do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I had really just like gotten in, me and my husband was really like doing our thing, being together and whatnot. So, and it was just a lot that there was a lot of reasons why I just didn't really want to deal with that situation anymore. So, I was really, really happy that that ended up ending, but it ended in a really, really bad way. So the person had child, it's a whole lot. We'll be sitting here forever if I was to tell the whole story. But basically, just to sum it all up, um, I had went with this person because they was like they wanted to drop their friend off or whatever somewhere, and they wanted me to just come with them. And I really didn't want to come with them, but they was blowing my phone up like more than 60 phone calls in a day, which didn't make any sense. And I wasn't answering any of them. So I ended up going with them. And later on that day, I was telling them, oh, you know what? You could just drop me back home. And they wasn't trying to. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, why are you not trying to take me home? You know what I'm saying? So the next day, they were supposed to drop me off. And in the car, I was telling them, I don't really want to have to like do the whole Atlanta move thing anymore. I would rather, do my own thing and you kind of just do your own thing. And that pissed them off. So as we're driving, they're supposed to be taking me home. We're passing like all the exits going towards like where they were supposed to be dropping me off. So I'm like, so where are you going? Because you're passing all the exits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, oh, I'm about to just go and pick up some stuff. And I'm like, okay, so you can drop me off first and then you can go do what you're doing or whatever. So it turns out this person wasn't going to pick up anything. This person drove a whole like hour and 30 minutes outside of the county that I lived in into an area where no houses was around, like no houses at all in the distance. And the only thing that was around was tall, like it almost looked like a cornfield in a way. You know what I'm saying? Up a dirt road, like into like these bushes, damn near, and stopped the car in the middle of the road where there was nothing. Like when I say nothing, like nothing, I don't even know where I'm at. At this point, I think we was probably close to like the South Carolina border or something. You know what I'm saying? And stopped the car in the middle of the dirt road and was like, "Okay, get out of my car." I was like, "What? What are you talking about? I don't even know where we at." Like, what are you even talking about? Like, I thought it was a joke. And it was like, person started going the fuck off. Like, sorry, going off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what is really
You ain't
going
got
on right now?
sorry, because
Pushed
that's some
me out
crazy.
of the car. Yeah, pushed me out of the car, took my phone, took my purse, and did a U-turn and drove off and left me there. I couldn't even believe it. Like I had no phone, no purse. The only thing I had was my shoes. I didn't even have a jacket, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. In that moment, I wasn't scared. I don't know. It was like a calmness that kind of came around me because I was like, what? I couldn't even really gather my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even believe what was really going on. It kind of felt like I was in a movie. Like it felt fake. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking about it and I was like walking up this dirt road. I was looking around me and there was no houses in sight. Like nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? So I just kept walking up this dirt road not even knowing where I'm going. And out of nowhere, I see this is the first time I can say that I fully experienced like God being with me. You know what I'm saying? I honestly believe like it was more so of a situation where I was like, wow, God is like really there and always watching me. And that's so wild. You know what I'm saying? So I was walking up this dirt road and out of nowhere, I see a garbage truck like turn into the dirt road. And there was like a turn. It was like the straight road I was on, and then there was a turn, but there was no houses around. So when I seen the garbage truck, I was like, this must be God, because why would a garbage truck be out in the middle of nowhere? So I walk up to the garbage truck and I asked me, and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you, but can I please use your phone? So he looked at me and he was like, okay. So he let me use his phone and I called my mom and I told her what was going on. And my mom at first actually didn't answer. So I called my auntie. This is one of the reasons why I really love the older generations. They don't be changing their phone numbers, child, because if anything else, I wasn't going to know what I was going to do, except for calling the cops probably. But yeah. So he let me use his phone. I told my auntie what was going on. And then I called my mom and she finally answered and I told her what was going on. And my mom was like, Jay, tell the garbage man to drop you to the closest gas station and then give us the address to where it's at. And so I asked him, and he kind of like hesitated a little bit, but then he was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let me drop you off. He was like, I'm actually on the route or whatever, but he seen me and I was just looking like, all pitiful and stuff. So he was like, okay, let me drop you off. So I got up in the garbage truck and I was just silent. I don't know. I just had like a calmness over me. For some reason, I didn't really have, like, when I say any emotion, I didn't have any emotion at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. It was just like in the midst of, like, I'm not the type to just like panic. I'm not really like that. So it was just a calmness over me. So I got into the garbage truck and they took me to the gas station and I had thanked him and whatnot. And I got his information because I was like, if I have to go to court, I need to call you. So I let him know we was talking and stuff like that. And I went to the gas station and I used the gas station phone and I called my auntie and I was able to get them the address. Like an hour and 30 minutes later, there was finally like my cousin and a friend of the family had pulled up and picked me up. So as soon as I got in a car with them, I used my cousin's phone and I called my mom and I was like, Mom, can you make sure that my car is outside? Because my purse, I always had like my keys attached to my purse. So my car keys was left in the purse car. So my mom was like, "Yeah, your car's outside. We just had went inside. We just came from outside because they was putting the laundry in the car or something like that." And so she was like, "Yeah, your car's outside." So she said she was like walking to the front door, and she opened the front door, and my car was gone. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, Jay, your car's not here. Your car was just here, and all of a sudden it's not here." So I'm like, I like when I was sitting in the car, something told me my car was gonna be gone. So as soon as I got in the car, that's the first phone call I made, and that's the first question that I asked her, like, "Is my car still there?" You know what I'm saying? So I had to call the police when I had got back to my auntie house and make a police report on what happened. That this person dang near kidnapped me and stole my car and ended up taking my car and never really gave my car back. Right? Probably damaged my car. I don't know what they did with my car. I didn't even care for it anymore at that point. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was just after that whole situation happened because I didn't want to move in with this person. I didn't want to be in communication with this person anymore. They got pissed off because of that and did all of that to me. And it was crazy because when I think back on it, it's like we in the middle of nowhere. Like, what if there was like an animal attack or something would have came out of nowhere and like hurt me? The thing that's so crazy is that you would have been the person right there with my family looking for me. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that we cool and they don't know us to have any issues. You know what I'm saying? Which is so wild to me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So
like a movie.
yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I never really spoke on that to anybody, but that was definitely a situation that I was happy that didn't come to pass. And on the flip side, it ended up being more of a blessing than anything else to have that person just out of my life. Hmm.
That's you answered the question, and that's so that basically, that's something that you basically dodged the bullet,
Literally.
more than a bullet, because
Yeah.
if y'all would have moved together, Danielle, no, not Danielle, honey, lover, friend, peace and love, sis. It says, what if you did move in and they act like that, or anything and everything? So
Right.
over anything and everything. Because I mean, basically, you said you didn't want to do it anymore, and then they just flipped the script on you.
Yeah. Literally.
Had you ever known them to even have that character towards someone else?
No. And if I did, I probably just didn't. If they did, I probably didn't know about it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when we say we don't really ever really know anyone.
Yeah.
You never
Until
do.
until they end up crossing that line and show you that side of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when a person show you who they are, believe
Mm-hmm.
it. 100%. All right. Ooh, you giving some answers today. All right.
Also, I want to answer this question because Crystal was asking if I'm mentally over this situation. Like, I am now, but it kind of took me a while because it was more so something that just like I kind of sat with for a while. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, like it was to a point where I had to really sit with myself. I sat over to my auntie's house. I didn't even come over to my husband's spot. I sat over to my auntie's house for like 3 or 4 days before I even went anywhere because I just needed to get my mind together. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's so strange. I don't know when it happened, but there used to be a time where every and any little thing would make me emotional as heck, and I will always be crying. And I don't remember what happened that just made me stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But when I do think about my future kids, that does get me emotional when I think about that situation because that is something that is very, very serious to me, and dear to
that
me.
was
But like when it comes to like situations like these, I don't know. This is very tragic in its own, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Maybe it's because it has to deal with someone outside of me, like my kids, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like when it has to do with me, I don't know. I feel like I have grown this strong way inside of me. But anything like outside of me, I feel like I'm very like emotional with that because it's kind of something that I can't control in a
mm,
way, Yeah.
yeah. I get that. I get not having control and feeling some type of way about not being able to rein it in or be able to touch it and change it. But that was a great question, Crystal, because it's trauma, and we talked about trauma yesterday. Trauma, being a traumatic situation, can hold on and tap into you and come up in different times that doesn't even have anything to reflect on the situation that you're in. So, but I'm glad the situation. Honestly, I wish it would have never happened to you, but I'm glad that it turned out the way that it did. Right.
Yeah.
So not only was it a lesson in there for you, but I mean, I don't know. I think they should have probably went to at least jail, court, fine, something. You said you never got your car
Hmm.
back either, right?
The insurance company ended up finding the car. So they ended up just taking the car, basically.
Okay.
And not the insurance company. Who was it? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was the insurance company. Yeah. Yeah. They had paid off the company for the car or whatever, and then they just took the car. So I didn't care for the car. I didn't care for the car anymore. I didn't even go to see the car because I didn't want that visual of whatever probably happened to the car to be in my head. So I never went to even go get any of my things out of the car. I'm a type of person when I'm done with something, I don't care about anything that you have, child. Like you can have whatever that is. I don't care how much it used to mean to me. Like all of that is dead to me. You know what I'm saying? When I'm moving forward, like all of that is left behind. Like I don't care about none of that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can feel you on that. I can feel you. All right. I'm going to continue to thank everyone for joining the live. We got Kiss from Jay. Here we getting pretty down deep, and some people coming in saying, "Hold on, wait, what happened?" Catch it on the replay. We're not gonna revisit it right now. We're not gonna tap back in it. I know Makita to the world. Peace and love, sis.
Hey,
We're gonna catch
Makita.
it on the replay. We don't want to go ahead and we don't want to, keep delving into it. It's not a beautiful thing, so we don't want to keep talking about it. We don't want to bring energy to something that don't need to be brought. All right. So, what is a belief that you had 5 years ago that you completely changed your mind about today?
Mm.
And maybe even if it wasn't five in the past and now you've changed your mind.
Um. Ooh, let me see. I would have to say, I kind of feel like it would have to be like a couple of things. I feel like when I was younger, I was very, I would have to probably say when I was younger, I was gullible. And that's because when I was younger, like my family, we grew up all together. Like my cousins, they were my friends. Like even though I went to public school and all of that, I didn't really like I gained friends, but that was just like at school. Outside of schools, summer vacations, all of that, I was only around my family. And I have a whole bunch of cousins that's around my age. You know what I'm saying? So we just was always together. Like we always like everybody's best friend. Like all my cousins, we all best friends. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, and I'm just always around my family, it was really weird for me to like make friends at school. But and the reason why, and it wasn't like it was to say it was hard for me to make friends. It was hard for me to make friends that I can trust at school, is what I should probably say. Because me being around my family and only around my family, I never had the feeling of if you was to tell me something, I would have to think about it or feel like you're lying to me or anything like that because it'll be my family. They're always going to be there to protect me, and nothing about what they have to say would have to like be a lie. You know what I'm saying? And if it is, it's probably something that me and my cousin said, and we probably not trying to get our butt beat. You know what I'm saying? It'll be something like that, but nothing outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So when I finally like started actually making friends and actually like hanging out with like other people outside of my family, it became known to me that I can't really trust everybody. And I was treating everybody just like how I treat my family. And I realized
Hmm.
I can't actually do that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of when it became like my eyes kind of open to see like outside of this, like there's a whole nother world outside of my house. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so cooped up in my house. My family is so just together like that. That we all like move as a unit like that. You know what I'm saying? So when I finally actually met people on the outside and created a bond, it was weird to not be able to be as open or like as I feel like I can just be freely. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized that you don't really have my best interests at heart. So that was kind of something that I had to like realize, and that was from like way back then. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody, has the best intentions for you.
Yeah.
So that would have to be something that I have realized. I kind of just felt like everybody was going to be, that way that I've been growing up and known my people to be. I kind of thought that everybody would be that same way, but yeah, they're not. So that would have to definitely be something I would have to say.
Something that what you're saying now about that situation, even though it was something that happened when you were younger, and the situation you just described, I think it all kind of go hand in hand because of the kind of person that you are. That person could have been putting those flags out there or showing you some type of way, but you probably didn't see it because again, you have a trusting heart because you came up around that kind of atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of can.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just seeing that because that's based on how the answers you've been given I mean, if the interactions with your family that's consistent, you know, and you always talk about how much you love your family. And now I see why. So everything's adding
Yeah.
up. It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
Mhm.
Yep. And I know so many people that grew up. I didn't have a huge family like that, you know. So I know so many. I used to be so envious of people who had their cousins and all of that who were around their age, and they were all, everybody was just, and it was so many of them, and they always had each other, and it was just me, and I was the extra person in their family. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I always loved that. Definitely.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about this. If you could do a collaboration with your younger self, what kind of video would you make?
Huh, did he say if I can do a collaboration with, you said my younger self?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I can do a collaboration with my younger self, mm, I'll probably make like a funny video. Like something kind of like 13 going on 30 kind of vibe. I'll probably do a collaboration like that. Like have her be dressed up how she wants to be dressed up as probably like a 13-year-old, and have me out of nowhere like walk in the clothes that she's wearing and looking like what the heck as like a grown person, and literally like doing the whole movie of 13 going on 30. Like I'll probably do something like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I like it. I like that movie too. So
Yeah.
look, now you're talking about something I can relate to. You talking about Minions and somebody else the other day. I mean, yesterday.
You're so funny.
Oh my gosh. My sister was dogging me out about that. She was like, I even knew that. I'm like, how did you know
That
that?
is so funny. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Honestly, like I ain't never actually, like I never was a big fan of Pokemon, but I did know about it because I did have like a lot of like little cousins that were guys and stuff like that that used to actually watch that show. I never really
Mhm.
cared for it, but I knew what it was about. You know what I'm saying? And then the Minions, I ended up watching that because I have little cousins and they like the Minions or whatever. So, and then they're kind of popular. So I see them all over. So I've seen it before. So I thought that was going to be a really good thing to like weigh the two to see which one you're trying to go with. And that was just like I was rewatching that live. Yes, this morning I was rewatching that live this morning and it was just cracking me up to see the replay. And I watched it on my phone and I watched it on the laptop because I was happy to be able to see like all the comments still there. So I was like, yo, this is hilarious. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
It
couldn't see
had
the
me
comments.
cracking up.
I couldn't see the comments. I wanted to see the comments because I couldn't really read
Oh
them while we were
yeah.
interviewing. I'm gonna see
Yeah,
if I
you
can
can
see them.
actually if you get onto YouTube Studio and you go back to that live on my page, you're able to see the comments on there. Like it'll
Okay.
be able
Usually I
to
could just swipe, but
yeah.
it didn't let me do the little swipe thing. So okay.
Mm.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm gonna try it again because I did. I watched it and then I fell asleep.
Mhm.
I was trying to rewatch it last night. Watched it. Was falling asleep. Woke up, tried to remember where I was at, and then I still had my grands this rising when I got up, so I had to take care of them, and I haven't been back on. Busy, 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 getting prepared for
Mhm.
this evening. But yesterday was a great day. And today is an even better day because we have Kiss from Jay on Queen's Alchemy's channel tonight. Thank you for joining me, Jay, and thank
Yes.
you for sitting in the hot seat and letting me ask you these questions. And so I got some more. So it has not been 22 questions yet. And so we're gonna go the route. We're gonna go the real. We're gonna do it all. Now, um, if your life had background music, what song would play during your most chaotic moments?
You said if my life had a background music, what would be the most chaotic music that I
Yeah,
play in the
no.
background?
What music would play during your most chaotic moments?
Mm, that is so funny. Um, my most chaotic moments. I would have to say, oh, let me think. That's a good question. That's really funny. Let me see. Ooh. I have to really think about like all the music for real because I definitely know of a moment. I'm trying to put the music to it, so I'm trying to think to see what will go with it for real. Okay. I would say my most chaotic moment will probably be like if I was walking with something in my hand, like to say for example, if I was walking with a cake in my hand and I probably had on like my heels and I was trying to step over something and ended up like tripping and I was about to fall, I can see like if it was like a movie, I can see him all of a sudden like pause it when I'm like mid in the air about to fall. And the song that I hear is Stop in the Name of Love. That song. I can hear that playing. Like that sounds so funny to me. Like I can like
Oh
see
my
that and hear that. Like, yeah.
God.
That
Okay.
sounds so funny to me.
Most chaotic moment you'll be talking about stopping the name of love.
Yeah.
See, we see where your heart at. We see where your heart at. You like even in the midst of chaos, it's gonna be love. All right.
You're so funny.
I love it. I love it. All right. Would you say that you were more of an honest person? I want to word this differently. Would you say that you keep it real, or would you say that you sugarcoat to save someone's feelings? If it was in regards to someone's towards
I
someone.
would say, yeah, I would definitely say that I would keep it real because I want you to keep it real with me. And especially if I'm trying to be more so in guard with your feelings, you're more so probably someone that's closer to me. So I would be real about it. I just won't be like rudely blunt about it. I feel like I feel like if I probably didn't know you, I would be like just blunt about it. Like, listen, you don't dress good at all. Like you need to go to
What?
the store. You want me to take you to the store? I can show you the type of clothes that I wear, but honey, I can't take you with me if you gonna keep
Oh
dressing
my
like
god.
that. Your cousin, I'll be like, ah, you know what? Why don't you give this a try? Because I ain't really feeling that, and I don't know where you picked that up from, but I think this will look better than that. That ain't cute, but this is cute. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be more so like that. Hmm.
So it depends on the person and what they wearing.
No, that's just giving an example of how I would like do it. You know what I'm saying? Like how
Right.
blunt it would be. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I know. I'm just adding that in. When you said so, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, is she trying to send a message? Because this is how I dress. No. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna go back on another question that's similar. What's a lie that you told as a kid that somehow got out of hand?
Hold on. Can you repeat that? My phone is like messing up.
No? What's a lie that you told as a kid that somewhat got out of hand?
Ooh, a lie that I told as a kid that somewhat got out of hand. Mm, ooh, gotta really think. So I ain't really have a reason to lie when I was a kid, child. I was
You
just
just said
chilling.
that you and your cousin
But
laughed on lies all the time.
oh, child. Okay, yeah. Because it never really got that bad out of hand, I guess you can say. But okay, so just to go ahead and explain that, I suppose. Um, Me and my cousin, we had a situation where we had skipped school one time. And
What?
we didn't know we didn't know that the school was going, call our parents and ask like, hey, is this person not feeling well or something? So when we got back home, they had asked us, it was like, the school said y'all wasn't at school. Where y'all at? Where was y'all at? Because we wasn't gonna be crazy. As soon as we knew the bus was coming back to drop everybody off, we like came out the bushes and was walking with everybody going back to their house and stuff like that. Like we was going back to our house the same time that the bus had came through or whatever. So shoot, child. We ended up telling them, we was like, we had to go to our friend's house because her dog had died and we really wanted to be able to just be with her and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we ended up saying because my mom was waiting there, child, with a belt, and she wasn't about to play with us. So we came up with something, and I didn't want to say that somebody had passed away, but I did need it to be dramatic so she wouldn't pow me because I don't like whoopings. I don't. I don't. So yeah. Yeah, we said our friend dog had passed away and we wanted to go and be with them. So yeah, that's what we said.
Okay, okay. So now, with everything that's going on in the world today, all the different things that's happened in the past, I'd say 30 days. Um, what would you say most impacts you?
Oh, child. I was actually going to make a video talking about this for real. I think, honestly, I think everything impacts me. I ain't even going to hold you. I think that everything impacts me because it's just so like everything is just like so tragic and it just like happened so sudden and in a time where January was cold. You know what I'm saying? January was cold all over the US. So people that have lost their homes in the fires, you know what I'm saying? That's really tragic, especially because people have plans, you know what I'm saying? People had all type of plans. And for me, my husband especially, he don't be trusting the bank, so we keep a lot of cash. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine other people how they are. They probably do the same thing or have a good amount of cash on them. Just imagine if all that cash was to burn into flames and you didn't have time to go and get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really wild. And now, instead of you planning how 2025 was going to go, you got to think about where your home was going to be. Like I remember seeing on the news, this one lady was talking about how she had just paid off her house and now her house is in flames. And the thing that's even crazier to me is how the insurance companies ended up, and then I ended up finding out even more information after that. Like the insurance companies, they would have literally stayed, the rentals and home insurance, they would have literally stayed out there in California. The reason why they didn't was because they found out before, like the residents and all of that, that the water wasn't in the hydrants. Like the insurance company had knew that before. And I ended up, because child, I had dug into all of that. You know what I'm saying? The insurance company knew that the water wasn't in the fire hydrants and they didn't want to be able to be having to deal with the situation if something like that was to happen, when everyone knows that usually almost every year a fire breaks out in California. You know what I'm saying? So if the insurance company knows about these fires and they go and they're checking these fire hydrants and they're seeing that there's no water there and they're talking to the people that they need to talk to let them know about that, they pulled out 6 months before the fire had even happened because they told them months in advance, like, if y'all don't do something about this, we're not going to be able to insure these homes. They're not saying that they knew something was going to happen, but they wasn't about to be in no tragedy. And
Mhm.
that was something that was already in the talks. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that could have easily been prevented. All of that could have easily been prevented. And then the whole thing with, I do feel for, I do understand that, Donald Trump was to be able to like deport the criminals that were sent here from other countries. Like they didn't want them in their prisons anymore. They didn't want them in the country and they kicked them out and they ended up coming here or whatever. But I do feel for people that are immigrants that are in the country that literally wanted to come here to be able to have a better life. Because some people are really coming from horrible situations where money wasn't probably a thing that was as easy as it is here in America, where you can just like work, even if you're working under the table. Because some of these people really are like good people, like the ones that really are trying to do good in their life. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like work with their family and stuff like that. Some of these people really are just working like a average person out here trying to have to literally work even harder because if they was to get fired, it's not going to be all that easy for them if they don't have papers. Like someone else can easily just go to probably a temp agency or whatever and get a new job. But someone like them, they have to literally find someone that they can actually talk to and see what they can do to help them pay them under the table or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I do really feel bad for a lot of people that came here, even if they came here illegally, to get away from whatever they was dealing with, especially if they were like good-hearted human beings. You know what I'm saying? So that really did like have like my heart really heavy. You know what I'm saying? And then this plane crash that happened in Washington, that was just like absolutely insane. Because the thing that made it even worse to me was the fact that I'd be scared when I'm all the way in the air, but when we're like 20 minutes from the airport and I'm texting my husband telling him, "Hey babe, we're about to be at the airport, like make sure you there," and he already there waiting on me, expecting me to be there, and the plane crashed right before we get there, that's insane. You know what I'm saying? And then crash in midair. You know what I'm saying? That is so crazy. And then on top of that, they're in Washington. That water is freezing cold. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody going to be able to get you like in an instant. And then the whole thing engulfed into flames. You know what I'm saying? Like that is so crazy. So my heart weighs like really, really heavy for all of them. And then this whole situation that happened last night in Philly with the plane crash. That's insane. And that's so scary. I read up on that too. I found out that that was an emergency helicopter that was leaving from the children's hospital, and the child and their mother, which they probably had good money or good insurance or something, because the helicopter was taking them back home and they stayed, I believe, in Missouri. And just imagine like your child had to go to a good hospital to get good help and finally was able to recover from whatever it was. And now they're ready and able to go home. So I'm pretty sure there was phone calls made to let people know of everything that like happened and the excitement and a welcome home party. Who knows? Who knows how long they probably been up over there? You know what I'm saying? Ready to go home now, probably feeling really good. Like all of this is finally over now. We can go back and we can live our lives. Just to be get in the helicopter in not even a minute, literally 30 seconds or 41 seconds. I don't even know how many seconds, but it was seconds, not even minutes. The plane nose dived into the ground. Just imagine when the plane even does a small shift of a drop, like I could feel that, and so did everybody else. So just imagine when it's going full speed straight down to the ground. That is so scary. You know what I'm saying? Like that is
Mhm.
so scary. Like all those people had died. And just imagine all the people that were affected around that. You know what I'm saying? Because they died in an area that was right there next to the mall in the neighborhood. So people houses was on fire, cars was on fire. This one person ended up dying when the plane had hit. Multiple people were injured. They said like 19 people were injured. Like that's really really crazy. So all of that like weighs really really heavy on my heart. And the thing that really like makes me take it all in even more is the fact that it's only February 1st of 2025. Like this year hasn't even like we just stepped in. We barely even closed the door. And it's just like all this chaotic stuff. That's like walking into a party that you was excited to go to. It's 2025. It's 2025. You know what I'm saying? We open the door and just like see all these people like doing all type of crazy stuff. Like all type of crazy stuff. It makes you want to be like, what in the world? It makes you want to turn around and close that door and go somewhere else. Like, this ain't for me. Let me go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like 2025, you was great, but yeah, I don't know. I think 2025 might be a female and she on her period, child, because I don't know what's going on. So yeah.
Wow. Well, it is a lot going on, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch the news at all. So when I asked you this, I've asked it based off of the things that I've seen come across the platforms of YouTube, social media, things like that. So you actually just gave me some information that I was not abreast to. I did hear about the crashes. I heard about the deport. I heard about it all, but for you gave pretty much a lot of detail where it made it make more sense why it was so, tragic, because that sounds horrible. And the reason I don't watch the news, that's it right there, because I don't like, I told you, I
Hmm.
don't deal with energies that, because I feel like if we put our energy into that, we get more of that same type of feedback. And I feel like you said we got into this party. Hey, we can ready to ring in 2025, but I think we still can do this because we have to override. I'm not saying disregard what, has happened to these people, because that's absolutely horrible. I mean, that's unheard of. I couldn't even imagine how these families are feeling, right? I mean, I don't know. Did the people on these planes, did they survive, or, I mean, are they in the hospitals? I mean, do you know the status of these people in the planes?
Everybody died. Everybody that was on the plane in American Airlines, all of them died, and the people from on the military helicopter that crashed into the American Airlines planes, they all died. The plane that crashed in Philadelphia, they all died. Yeah. So
So
everybody died. It was
everybody
like I think
is
it.
dead.
Yeah, yeah. This is serious. Yeah, this is really serious. Yeah, yeah. This is a really serious thing because plane
It's
crashes. The
sad.
thing that's really
This is
scary to
beyond
me is the
sad.
fact
This is
that
not good.
yeah, the thing that's really scary is that we don't really have situations like this that really happen in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like things are checked, double checked, triple checked. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so like what really happened? You know what I'm saying? It kind
For
of just
real.
feels
That's
like
what's
what
making,
is
that's,
really going
my
on?
mind is what really happened. That's exactly what I'm thinking. What really happened? How did
Yeah.
it happen?
Like what can happen? And then the thing that's even crazier is like literally, what was it, 2 or 3 days later? I think it was 2 days later, another plane crash. Like, what is really going on? And then like all of this stuff is happening in the beginning of the year, like all in 1 month. It's just so much that's happening. And
That's what I'm
I
saying. Yeah.
yeah, I reached out
That's
to
a
so
lot.
like I look into so many things. Like as I go on during my day, I look into so many things. You know what I'm saying? So just to see like all of this like happen, like it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like the fires that happened in California, the fact that it lasted literally weeks, not just days, but weeks,
Oh
that
yeah.
was insane to
That
me.
was
And took
horrible.
out so many acres, so many
Mm-hmm.
acres. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And
I mean,
then this
yeah, I
these
do know
two
about
plane
that.
crashes.
I do.
Yeah, these
And
two
then we
plane
got the two
crashes
crashes to
was
back. So it almost
yeah.
makes, you know, you gotta look at things in life a lot differently, right? Because now we have these
Mhm.
kind of situations happening, but I don't want things like this to put us on the edge of fear. You get what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
mean, I hate to say it, but I really like to see this make us push harder to try to make a change for the things that, because I'm with you. What really happened in the air? Because that's not normal. It don't happen. What really happened? We probably will never know what really happened. But what we do
Mhm.
know is that a lot of families, if you're talking, I don't know if this was a regular commercial airline where it was a group of people, but I saw somebody
Yeah.
in the chat say
Oh,
over
yeah.
70 people total. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
an American airline plane. It was American airline plane.
Right.
Can you imagine that? You would think that it would be some type of like foreign plane from like an out of the country type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But
It's
nah, this was an American airline plane,
exactly.
a plane
That's
that you can easily get onto. Like anybody can get onto a plane like this. I've been on multiple American airline planes. You know what I'm saying? So I know how it is. And like what they said, it was like, I don't know, it was like 68 to 70 people. That's a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? In a crash, like I've never seen an actual airplane crash before, but I've heard a lot of people speak on it. Like when I look certain like stuff up and I would see people giving their stories, and that is not a sight to see. Like just everything everywhere.
right.
Like
And that's why
it's so
I can't,
scary.
I can't. So I want you to understand something. I just, and then this is your interview, and I'm gonna let you talk because this is your interview. I'm interviewing you, but I want to clarify something because I know I probably came across like I didn't really care. But this is a coping mechanism for myself.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, Crystal says I'm such an empath. I can't help it. That's why I can't do that, right? That's why I can't watch. That's why I can't do that. I can't get. It'll become me. It'll become part of me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I am not caring. I do care. I am protecting my energy and my space so that I'm not engulfed in that. So I'm not
Mhm.
telling anyone else not to be that. I'm just saying this is something, this is a mechanism I have incorporated with myself. I do it at my job. I talk to people all day and I hear all kinds of things. I hear about death. I hear about, you know what I'm saying? So I can't intake that energy. I can't take that on. So the same thing when you telling me this story, though I wanted to know, I asked the question. I brought it up. But I didn't know you was, I didn't I didn't know you was gonna go there like that. And I was listening to
Yeah.
you. And if anybody was reading my face, I was feeling it, but I was trying not to internalize it. But then when you said
Mhm.
all the people died, that changed the whole thing. And then I start feeling it. You get what I'm saying? I start
Mhm.
feeling that because and then now you start to put yourself and your thoughts and your things and putting you in the place of these people. And so Crystal, I'm
Mhm.
feeling you 100% um on that, right? So I'm an empath 100%. And so I had to learn how to not tap into everybody's everything. And so because of that, that's why I came across like that. So I don't want y'all to think, oh, she just kind of cold. She really didn't, she thinking she talking about don't put no energy in, but don't, I'm saying don't put the energy into it because what we create more of what we get. You know what I'm saying? By putting the
Yeah.
energy into it, we create those things. So I don't want that to happen. I don't want any more of this created by our energy. We really can't help because it's on the news. And you know how many people putting energy into it? That's how they make it
Mhm.
work. They use us as a
Yeah.
force to keep stuff going. We are the force.
Mhm.
But this is not my side, this is your side. So let's go. And I'm getting ready to shift this because you no
Yeah,
matter
go
what
ahead.
question, no matter what question I give you, you take it and you make it deep. I'm like, can you just give me something to laugh at? Can you be that
You are
bird?
so
Like you said you want
funny.
to be that bird. Squawk, squawk, squawk. Be that bird, man.
Child.
I ain't even got no animal questions for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could be a bird or a cat, I know you be the bird, right? So, um,
Mm-mm.
let's see. Here we go. If happiness was a scent, what do you think you would smell like? Or what do you think happiness would smell like?
Mm. If it was a scent, I think that it would smell like mm, I think that it would smell like the most purified beach with just complete fresh air and like beautiful flowers nearby. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Like really nice, warm, like soft wind, that just brings in like just like earthy, but almost like untouched type of scent. Nothing that's too strong, nothing that's too like light, just completely like natural and feels like something you've never felt before. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Something that makes you want to always like go back to that. Yeah. I think it'll be something around there.
Girl, did you see me? I was into the
I
description,
saw you.
and I was about to lay out because that is my happiness smell.
Mhm.
I love the beach, and I love the smell of the fresh ocean water.
Me
And
too.
it makes me happy. It makes me happy
Mhm.
to think about being at the beach and what it
Mhm.
smells like when I'm there. So when I'm like, soon as I walk up or even come close to it, and it starts to, it's just, it's like this tinkle or something that happens that make you just feel so great. You know, I didn't
Mhm.
know you like the beach. Trip.
I love the
Let's
beach.
make a
Like,
trip.
let me tell you, I love the water. Like, I love the
I do
water.
too.
It's like, what was that?
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You said especially when it's like, but
Yeah.
you were saying you love the water, especially when it's like,
Yeah. I just going to the beach. I love like shoes off and having my feet all in the sand. I love being able to walk up to the ocean and just like feel the like waves like come up to me. All of that. Like it's just like it's so incredible. Like it's such a good feeling to be on the beach, especially when it's like a really pretty beach. Like one that you feel like this is what paradise looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to go to the beach that's out there by what is it called? Antigua. I forgot what that other place was called that's right next to Antigua. But the sand over there is pink. And I love the fact that it's like that. Yeah, the sand over there is pink. And that's because of the creatures that are in the ocean that's surrounding that beach. They make it
mhm,
pink. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I think that would be so dope. Like, and then like the palm trees, you know what I'm saying? Everything that just makes it feel like that. Like,
yes,
it just
yes.
feels like happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
It
somewhere
is.
I feel like I can walk and be at on like a sad day and I will just like eventually just kind of forget and let go and just be like happy, like walking and just feeling and smelling and looking at everything just looks beautiful and everything just feels picture perfect, you know?
Yes. That should have
Mhm.
something to do with your sign too. You're Aquarius, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm a Cancer. I love the water. We water
I
creatures.
can see why, because cancers, they're really emotional. So I can see why
We go with the
for
flow.
you, why you don't want to like have to take all of that because when you do take it, you're gonna really like take it because
Hmm.
you're really emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I can see why you would be more guarded when it comes to stuff like that.
But I didn't know how to do.
Hmm.
I used to always sympathize, empathize, put myself in people's shoes, and feel it with them always. And then I didn't. I had to. I got sick. I got sick from it. So but I had to figure out I
Hmm.
got sick from it. So it's definitely, you have to know these things about yourself. And that's why we love the
Hmm.
water, because we water creatures, right? So we love the water. I love the
Right.
water. Boss dog said
Hmm.
he's a Pisces, so I know he loved the water too. I am all in
Hmm.
with that. I am in with that. Oh, June 29th. I see new views, new heights. Peace and love to you, sis. Definitely, I can feel, you know how many cancers I'm connected to on this. Just, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's but we come together. If you pay attention, we come together as a unit, and we operate. And I love the way that comes out. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
love the way I always use that example of harmony, right? Harmony being that we
Mhm.
all might play a different or have a different sound, but we come out harmonious together. I love it.
Mhm.
All right, so now this is my last question. I don't know if I hit 22 because I just kind of started dabbling over. I had a whole bunch of stuff on here, but
Oh,
this
dang.
um let's see. If you had, actually, I'm gonna do two more. If you had to relive one day of your life over and over, what would it be?
Mm, I think that it would probably have to be my wedding day in Liberia because that was so everything was just so perfect. Like I'm in a place that's foreign to me, but at the same time doesn't feel foreign because I'm surrounded by loved ones. You know what I'm saying? And the day was just beautiful. I already knew like what to expect, so nothing was like out of the ordinary. Like I knew what to expect, but I didn't know how it was going to be and how I was going to feel and exactly all of that. And I was just really happy like being around my sisters and being around my dad. I'm a daddy's girl, so I love being around my dad. So, yeah, I would have to say, yeah, my wedding day. I wouldn't mind living out, and then I was with my husband and I love being with my husband. So yeah. Even though the only thing about it is that I wasn't around like my mom and stuff like that, but she was in my heart and I talked to her on the phone, so she was there. Yeah, so I can definitely like relive that moment over and over and I'll be perfectly fine with that. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that might be your answer because I mean that was a beautiful time.
Mhm.
It was. Uh,
Yeah.
I told you I got a niece that she's Liberian. Her dad's from Liberia, so all her grandparents and everything is over there. Yeah,
Mm.
and let's see here. So give me one second. I scroll past the question. What's something that's way more difficult than people realize?
Mm. Something that's way more difficult than people realize. Mm, let's see. I think, ooh, I gotta really think, child. um, something way more difficult than people realize.
You can even
You know what? I think, I think that for me, I would have to say doing nails, like actually laying acrylic down on like your nails on your foundation of the nail. I think that people that have never done nails before won't really understand how difficult it is doing it your first time. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Because if you don't do it right, you're going to end up with a very stale brush because the acrylic is going to dry onto the brush and you're not going to be able to do anything, child. When you do it for the first time and you ain't never like done it before, you're going to end up seeing like how difficult that is. And then if you don't do the acrylic right, I don't even know what you're going to do as far as a design on that nail because it's not going to look anywhere close to what you want it to. So yeah, I think that's way more difficult because I feel like when people go and get their nails done, they just like, oh, do this like this and do this like that. And I don't want it to look like that. And I don't want it to look like this. But if you was on the other side and you had done it for the first time and child, you'll probably be way more appreciative on how your nails turn out, especially when it turned out good, than you actually doing it and seeing how like difficult it actually is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll
I
probably
can
say
see
that
that.
laying down acrylic on the nails.
I can see that definitely. Now let me see your nails.
Mm-hmm.
Do you keep your nails done? Do you keep your nails done?
Hold on. Oh no, I used to always keep my nails done, but I haven't done my nails in a long time, and I don't really care too much to have my nails done. Like naturally, I have like really good nails. You know, my nails grow really long. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
okay.
they're really healthy. You know what I'm saying? But I like to keep my nails like this because when I'm doing nails, they're not going to be in the way. And I like being able to, I don't know, I write like this. So, and when I draw like this. So I don't want anything in the way of my creation when I'm doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, everyone, we're going to be coming to a close. We want to thank Kiss from Jay for being on the hot seat tonight. And this has truly, truly been wonderful. Like, I enjoy
Hmm.
every moment of it. I loved our interactions. I loved
Yeah.
your answers. Um, you kept me going. I appreciate that. Um, do you have anything you want to add to this before we go?
Yes, I would definitely love to thank you for allowing me to be here with you. And I'm so excited that you're going to be doing this. And I can't wait to see all the other interviews that you're going to be doing. I'm excited to be able to tune into that. I'm so happy for all of you guys being here with us all this time because we've been on here for 106 minutes. That is so dope. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so excited to be your first interviewee. That's really lit, you know what I'm saying? So thank you guys so much for just being a part of this like journey and this like new movement that we're doing. I'm so
Yeah,
excited for all
yeah.
of you guys, and I'm really excited for everybody that's watching the replay. Thank you so much for being here and making it this far into the video. I appreciate you guys getting up, and tuning in. And I definitely did not expect to have said some of the stuff that I said. And I definitely didn't imagine myself to feel the way that I felt, but it definitely was a really great interview. I was not expecting some of that. I'm really like, it's so funny. I'm not all that good at being interviewed because I don't really be knowing what to say, but I am really good at interviewing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really good at just like searching and researching and all of that. But it's so weird when I'm on the other side. So I love being able to be in an uncomfortable position at the same time because I get to learn a lot about myself in the moment. And I feel like
Mm.
during this interview, I kind of really did. And then just like speaking on certain things, that like, because I've never told anyone outside of my family, like the story that I had told you, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I'm really happy to have been here and I'm really happy that you guys are here with us. So yeah, thank you, love.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for going deep because that was one of my questions. Like, we've been kind of surface level with Jay, but Jay
I
says
know.
Jay says she's focused, right? So she's gonna let you know where she wants you, what she wants you to know. So
Hmm.
as Jay mentioned, I'm going to be continuing this trend that she has started. Thank you, Jay, for allowing me to
Yes.
hold on to the baton and continue to do so. Mine will be called 22 questions because 22 is very near and dear to my heart. And so I would like if any of you who have not or have been, uh, on the hot seat want to do so, just of course, just drop me a message, let me know, and we can get that going for sure. And this will not be the last time that you see Jay and I together. We're gonna collab on some other things that's maybe outside this spectrum, as long as Jay is good with that. And
Oh yeah, of course.
so, other than that, I want to thank all of you for joining the live today. Thank you for your time. And Oh, look at that. New Views, New Heights says I want to be a guest on both. Look at that.
Oh yeah, you can
I love
definitely do that.
I love
Be
that.
ready for me now if you're gonna come over
Oh,
to me, child,
right.
because
Oh, but you're gonna enjoy her content. Like New Views, New Heights.
mm-hmm,
She deep. And so I know you're gonna come up with some great questions. She's pretty
mm-hmm.
deep. All right. So again, I want to so make sure you check out Kiss from Jay's channel. If you're not already subscribed to her, go over, check over out her content. She has a great perspective on life, and I love her. Like, I've known her forever. I want y'all to know I was her number 76 subscriber. Actually, I was 77.
Right.
She had 76 subscribers. I was number 77. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been rocking with her a long time because she over 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
She at 1,101, I think, right now. So definitely, we've been rocking together for a minute. So again, I thank you all for. Oh, Tanika, you missed it all. You were coming in late.
I
I want.
know.
Again, I want to thank all of you for joining the live. We're going to see you next time. Um, and you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you are. Peace and love. And we're out.
Bye.